This is Barbara Rich for Bifocal Reviews. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Frank Dux, or should I call you Admiral Dux?
Admiral's nice. I got the from the state of Kentucky, actually.
So this is the 25th anniversary of the making of the original version of the classic film Bloodsport, based on the story of your life. Is that correct?
That's correct, except for one caveat, and that is it's based on true events in my life. It's not an actual documentary per se. The writers took certain liberties with telling the story.
This film has had a lot of effect on the world of martial arts and is responsible for creating the film career of Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, how has it affected you personally?
It's been a blessing and a curse. It's opened doors for me and allowed me to help people and reach people I would never otherwise meet. And at the same time, it created a certain degree of envy amongst people, and I became a target of people who were just trying to grab attention for themselves by attacking me and my reputation and making up baseless allegations in order to do so.
What do you want people to remember you for?
What I want to be remembered for, probably the best, is not so much as being a martial artist, but being an inspiration for others to believe that they don't have to conform to the will of others, to be free thinkers, to not be discouraged in life with all the obstacles you have in your ways. I mean, I come from poverty. I'm self-taught. I don't claim to be some Koru martial artist. I don't believe in Koru martial arts because what it says is we don't evolve as human beings, and every generation, I believe, evolves to greater heights based on the generation before it. You can see that in sports. The athletes of the 1900s are totally different than the athletes of today. If you look at their physiology, their skills, etc. And so it holds true in science, it holds true in art, it holds true anywhere we go in life.
What are you doing now?
Right now I'm involved in many projects, one of which is a magazine we're trying to launch called LNL, or Legends and Legacies magazine. It's an online magazine. Where that came about is because I found myself being attacked and having no opportunity to respond to protect my own legacy and even my own legend, if you will. I saw a need to provide a voice for people who are in the public light so they can tell their story unedited in their own words, not with somebody else interjecting things or interrupting them. So we created that vehicle for people. The other things I'm involved in is, of course, trying to get clean water around the world. I've been involved in that project for many, many years before it became popular. Green energy, before anybody even knew what that was. One of the things I really take a lot of pride in is I've created patents for things called financially sustainable solutions to social problems. And these are some of the things I'm involved in. Making a film on of Genghis Khan by the Mongolian people, where they tell the story of their national hero in their own words and in their own way. I was able to help them do that without a Hollywood influence polluting the story, and that's just some part of what I'm doing. FAST is another program I'm doing. I'm bringing to the public my own technical insights, if you will, my own proprietary technology for a thing I call focus, action, skill, strategy, and tactics, and how that works together to make your life better. It's inspired many other people, such as Gordon Racuso, in his book, The 5 Principles of Everything. And the one and most overriding principle of all in my mind that he talks about, and of course, is the law of mutual benefit. And I've always found that the more I try to be of service to others, like what a samurai means to serve, the more the ripples of the pond return back to me. So, and the most touching thing to me is I started a thing called the Frank Dux Fellowship. Actually, I didn't start it. It was started by a Jaguar Range Rover in Mexico. And it's about matching business minds and humanitarian minds together, where you work together in unison helping others. and trying to help underprivileged children all over the world.
Who owns the rights to the title and story that we originally saw in Bloodsport?
Yeah, due to a breach of contract with me when they did Bloodsport 2, this resulted in a reversion of rights where I got all my life rights back to me. They're allowed to, the producers are allowed to use the term Bloodsport in the sense of Bloodsport 2, 3, 4, add to it, but they cannot do a remake of Bloodsport without my character and call it a remake without my character and without the story being totally redone the way it's supposed to be done. That's what my settlement agreement specifies regarding Bloodsport.
Does this mean that no one can make a remake without you and the name Frank Dux attached to it?
That's correct. No one can make a remake of the film without my name attached to it. And it has to be word for word, scene by scene, exactly the same way as Bloodsport for it to be a remake.
Are you aware that a story broke yesterday that a remake of the original film with an entirely different story is in the works in Hollywood terminology?
Several people contacted me about the idea of a remake. And like I said, it's very specific in my agreement as far as the usage of the words and what's really going on. And it looks to me, based on the press release I saw, that they're basically, again, trying to ride on the coattails of my hard work and what I've done in order to enrich themselves and provide something that really isn't what it is, but using that name and that notoriety to again, profit from it without having to pay compensation for it, the benefit of it. And of course, you know, this being Hollywood, I mean, agreements are only as good as the people who stand behind them. The reality of that is being Bloodsport 2, which is obviously anybody rationally would say that's a sequel. The producers of that argued that it's not a sequel because it didn't use my name, even though it used all the same characters, same storyline, everything else. So it's amazing how far people will go to make a buck in this world.
It seems like there are a lot of people trying to make a name for themselves merely by attacking you. Where can people go to hear, read, or see the unvarnished truth about Frank Dux, the Kumite, or the phenomenon that created the movie Bloodsport?
I personally shy away from publicity, but I'm very fortunate to have some great students. One of my students is a gentleman by the name of Sky Benson. Sky put up a website, and it's very clearly it's his website because his picture's on the cover of it. But it's called fastduxryu.com, and it's FASSTDUXRYU.com. And there he has a thing called facts. You can click on that. You can see all the proof you'd ever want to need. You can see videos of people talking about Bloodsport. You can see articles, past articles written about it. WorldwideDojo.com does a really good article on me, very in-depth article covering all the different topics. And again, it's, the hard part of being me is, reach a certain level of success, like Bruce Lee said. It's like the name of the game becomes King of the Mountain. And what you see is people who are maybe not even deserving of success. They will try to drag you down in the mud and the filth with them by attacking you and ganging up on you. And so he experienced it in his lifetime. I've experienced it in my lifetime. I don't think there's anybody with any celebrity who hasn't experienced that. In fact, I'd like a quote from Thomas Jefferson, and that was very simple and to the point, and that is, show me a man without controversy, and I'll show you a man without character. As the Kumite is concerned, it's recognized from the day I retired or was announcing my retirement. I issued a challenge in Black Belt magazine. I invited anybody and anyone to participate in it. Black Belt covered it, corroborated it. You have foreign governments and their sport authorities who corroborate it. We don't have a sport authority in this country that does that. And that's why it's open and up for grabs for anybody to point fingers or say this is that or this is that. And that's whatever the controversy is, really an outgrowth of poor regulation. It's not something that's based in fact or has any credibility. especially in the eyes of the rest of the world, where you have, like I said, recognized sport authorities who recognize it and verify it, and including, like I said, the leading magazine in this country. When I was fighting the event, they ratified it, if you will, verified it. So I don't know what to say to the rumor mills when they, run their mouths and they say what they say. The reality is, it wasn't for Bloodsport, wasn't for what I did to get for Bloodsport to even be what it is. You wouldn't have mixed martial arts that you see today. You wouldn't have the phenomenon you see today. It's all built on the hard work of myself and my predecessors and that film. And that's why the World MMA Council, they call me the father of the MMA. And everywhere around the world, they call me that.
Thanks for watching. And for myself and the other guy, here's looking at you.